All right, here's our outline, 8 feet by 3 feet. Delvis, are you with me on this? Delvis, 8 feet long is 1.12 Delvises. Right? Are you okay? What's going on? All right, here we go. I'm going to draw one end. I'm going to draw one end of the bench. Here's what we're going to do. I'm going to draw one edge profile. And then I'm going to draw another one. Huh? Yeah, I'm just going for it. Oh, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to take this one. Just throw your hat in the ring, guys. Here we go. I'm going to rotate this. Rotate. Okay? This is not a great bench. What's the best built-in bench is the one at the Vitro House. Herzog and Demmer on the Vitro House. This is the best built-in bench ever. Right here. You see it? It's in the exterior wall of this building. Maybe we try to draw something like that. Let's try this. All right, so if we look at this, what we're going to do is go like... Often it's useful to just like block these things out with straight lines. It kind of goes like this. And then to come trace over it with like a control point curve. All right, then I can move these points. I'm going to go like that. And there's no reason this has to be curved. This is a little goofy looking now. Hey, how you doing? Good, how are you? Great. All right, we're going to take this. Maybe we should go from like this to the curve. All right, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to take these two shapes. I'm going to look at it in 3D. I'm going to rotate 3D. You're right, this is too tall. Let's shorten it a little. We take all this and just move it down. Okay, I don't like this shape necessarily, but let's just use it. All right, play around with it. You define these profiles. Okay, I'm going to spin this one around. I'm going to tip them both up. Rotate 3D. All right, let's see what happens. not bad. Come on. This could be a lot worse. Okay. Okay, I don't like symmetry. So we can scale 1D this. Remember scale 1D? It's a lot better now. All right? All right, what's the next step? Jonathan, what do we do next? Slicer is for slackers. We're going to do polyline. You don't need it. You don't need slicer. Here's what you need to do. Are you on a contour? You really want a contour? All right, let's do this 3 ways real quick, and then it's 8:51. We got to go. All right. So if I draw a line the length of my bench, how can I get 65 slices? Divide 65. And I can just go copy and paste this. I could do an array. Uh-oh. I messed something up here. I don't know. All right. What do I do next? Project. Okay, I'm going to type project. Select curves. These are my curves. Click enter. There's my slices. All right, see it? You don't need slicer. That's true. We need pieces going here. You need to have at least one. I would recommend you have like a couple. Well, just to hold the thing together. It gets all, things are tipping over. So we'll do one here, and we'll do one, I don't know, over here, and one over here. All right, so let's project these on. Select curves, enter. Lila, each one is like this big though.
It's gonna take a whole. It's gonna take
All right, here we go. All right. Sorry, what was your question?
What do you have those 3 lines for?
Because these are going to be, let me show you. Give me a sec. All right, we're going to join these curves. join them with these curves. Oh. Barbara, you asked what's the point of these?
No, I asked
What did you ask, Barbara?
that after we do that, do we need to do like what we did for the other project that we make the notches so everything fits together? It holds.
Yes, but here's the thing. So, guys, when you get, after we select a bench, okay, something is off. I messed something up. It's something I didn't snap to a point. But when you get, what you're going to do after we pick one of these, I'll work with whoever wins the bench. We're going to do this, and we're going to put each one of these slices on a layer. And so we'll have named layers over here. It'll be 1, 2, 3, 4, all the way through 68, whatever it is. And then I'll have the class roster. It will say Rose, piece 62. So she needs to take that slice, notch it out, go CNC mill it, things like that. Okay? Make sense? With me. No, you're going to work with me and we'll prep it. Do you have to what? I can't hear you. What? You'll probably have to cut like 12 pieces. Well, you saw how many breeze blocks we got in a class of 65. And if you want your bench to be complete, you may have to fill in the gaps. All right, so these are long pieces. So these will get notched out, right? So yeah, you could 3D print these instead if you want. All right, so let's join these. All right, so for instance, okay, so you're going to go through and do that, yeah? So if you laser cut this, just due to the thickness of material and the scale, there's not going to be any space between these. So you just laser cut the layers and just glue them all together. We'll just get glued up like that. You're not going to need to notch anything at like this size. So just slice it up, laser cut it out of thin chipboard, just stack it all up, okay? Does that make sense, everybody? If you 3D print, you could 3D print this, you know. Remember that earlier conversation that said you could laser cut or 3D print the competition model? You see?
This is due next Wednesday?
Yeah. Come on, that took us 10 minutes. Hopefully, you put a little more thought into it than I did. Although, you see, I was like a responsible student. I had a reference. I looked at the second demo. I looked at the EAMS. If you want to present your references, that would be great. Yeah. We're not done, but Hunter has a question. Don't start packing out, Hunter. I did 65. Oh, down the length? I did 3. You probably want to have at least 2, but 3 would be good. Just because it helps stand everything up. Like once you slot these things together. In the next class, guys, we're going to pick a winner. And then I'm going to show you how to, I'll walk you through Slicer. We'll export these to Slicer. So bring your own model and you can follow along in class. And then, but I'm going to show you how to design those joints. So if you're not using Slicer, you still know how to do that. Because you might just want to, design a joint like my table leg that I put in. And there are a few design tips for how to do that. So I'll walk you through that in the next class. Okay, everyone, yes, bring a model next Wednesday. This big. We're going to put them all on the table. We're all going to vote. Yes? I would say around 8 feet long. And it could be longer if you want. At a certain point, if we You know, if we're, you know, how thick is plywood?
Depends.
Huh?
Depends.
Generally.
The one that we use is 1/8.
It's usually 3/4 of an inch. And then you can get thinner. You can get 1 inch. But usually standard ply is 3/4 of an inch. So if we did 3/4 of an inch solid, if we did only a 1/4 inch gap, that would equal 1 inch. And if we multiplied that by 65, that would already be 5 feet long. So I think we want to have 3/4 inch with a 1 inch gap. Let's say 3/4 inch gap. So we have 1.5 inches per piece. Then 65 pieces is already going to be what, like, 8 to 10 feet long, which would be fine. So keep it around 8 to 10. I said 8 just because these cross members, we can cut this piece out of a single sheet of plywood. Yeah. So that's why I think 8 might be, although I made it longer. Remember, I mirrored it. So we can work together on it based on your design, but come on, this is not a bad bench, guys. Maybe I'll throw mine in the mix. I'll 3D print mine. Hey, I'll 3D print mine for next Wednesday. Okay? There was one more thing. We'll do Slicer next week. So just go for this, bring it Wednesday, and then we'll do the demo next week. All right, thank you. Have a great day.
Can I bring the bootleg again next Wednesday?
Yes,
I already uploaded in Google Drive.
that's fine.
So
That's
just suck
fine.
it up, just glue it together like that.
Yeah.
I have a question, not about this class.